All right, so we're going to be going over the array command. So under modify, it's right here. We have three types of arrays in AutoCAD. We have rectangular arrays, pathways, and polar arrays. So you can kind of see by the picture, rectangular is going in a rectangle, path is following some kind of path, and a polar array goes around in a circle. So if I go ahead and pick a rectangular array, if I can pick an object here, and then of course it wants me to select more objects, so I can just hit enter till I'm done. Now I get some grips and I get a new box in the ribbon, so I can grab this last grip and adjust the total number of columns and rows. I can grab here and just adjust the number of rows, here the number of columns, or the inside arrow to adjust the spacing of those all. And I can also do all that up here in the ribbon, so I can either give the total row counts here, rows and columns, or the space in between them, or the total spacing. So I can say I want this total thing to be 2 inches for all 8 of those, or I want it to be a 1/4 inch between those. Or, so I can go 1/4 inch there too. You can see it adjusts that like that. I have the base point, so that changes where this kind of the grip is there. Right now it's there. If I go to base point and I click there, now that base point is in the corner of that. And that means that when I grab it, I can move this whole thing around. You can see it's all moving together, and that was because when I created it, grab something else, I'd had this associative turned on. So that way it stays together. If I turn that off when I create it, so just close there. Now you can see that these items here are all individual. Then they're not a group like that one is. So that's what associative does. It makes it you can click on it, come back, make some changes. So some changes I might want to make is I might want to edit what this is. So I can go to edit source, click on any one of these. It doesn't have to be the first one. It could be this one. I can say okay. Now let's say I want to draw some kind of line in there. Put that in, go back to here and hit save changes. You can see now that line has been added to all of them in the group. But let's say a few of them I want to have just circles instead. So I want to put a circle right here on some of them. And so I can draw that circle in. Actually, I'm going to come back down to the base one. And say I want that to be just right there. And so now I pick on that array. Actually, I want to make this big one out of the center. So I'm going to do a circle, shift right click, midway between 2 points, there to there, circle, midway between 2, there and there. There we go. I'm just going to have a circle that big, take the place of some of these. And so I'm going to go in and pick on the array, go to replace item. It's asking me to select my replacement there. And now it's asking where's my base point going to be, and I want it to be that same kind of bottom corner there. And now selecting the items to replace. So now I can pick individual things in the array, and it's going to replace them with that circle. And so I can just escape and get out of it. You can see it's all kind of still selected there. So that's a rectangular array. Polar array lets me kind of do circular things. So I'll go polar array. Again, selecting the object I want in an array. So I'll pick that. And then I ask me where do I want the center to be. So let's say I want to go around this line. So I'll pick the midpoint of that line, and it puts in the number of items. So I can go here and adjust the number. I can also, then I can kind of use this to adjust the angle between, or this for the total angle. That for the kind of the adjusting the diameter of it, or here to move it. So you usually don't use those two square ones. We use the other ones. And so now I can tell it, in addition to moving here, the angle to fill. So I can tell it I only want to go 270. And so now it's going to go up there. I can make my adjustments on the number of items, and it's going to evenly distribute those. So if I say 180, it's gonna go there. If I decide I want to go the other side though, I can just click the direction. Then I'll flip which direction the array is going. So this rotated means that if I had something that's not even, so let's say this one, and I pick that as my object to array, and I grab the midpoint of the line. You can see by rotated, it's rotated as it goes. If I turn that off, now they're going to be in the same position, but not rotating. Again, I can have it associative or not. So if I leave it associative, now when I click on it again, I can get back in and make edits. And I have the same edit source object, replace item, or to reset it that I had before. So I could tell it 180. Now it's going to be just that. And so that's the polar. And then on the path array, this is all you work on several different things. If we had a spline like this, or if I have a polyline, so this is all one continuous line here. If I pick path array, and I pick on this object, enter until I'm done, pick the path, it's going to follow the path. Again, this align items is kind of like that rotate. So I click this, it'll turn them all back to being flat, or it'll try and make them follow the path. I can change the spacing between them. And I can kind of add in some extra rows and things here. So now I can have multiple copies of this here. I can also do it following this PP line, so select my object, pick my path, and you can see it's doing the same thing. It's following that as we go. So, all right, hope that lets you see how to use the array command. If you have any questions, make sure you ask. All right, bye.